Hi, this is Erica DELSIGNORE. I'm the founder of Daily Lead Campaign, where we help people get leads every day on social media, and we use video marketing as well as getting people on TV now. And what you're watching today is sure to be one of my best installments of Great Minds, Great Marketing, an interview series where we bring entrepreneurs from around the world to share their marketing secrets and a little bit about what they do. And today I'm really, really excited to have Daniel Aleksa. He owns physical therapy business, and he is, sorry, personal training business. The PT, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm in PT right now for my foot, so I'm like, that's all I have on the brain. Anyway, so I want to thank you so much for coming on with us today. Daniel is going to share some pretty incredible stories about his journey as an entrepreneur and what he's doing in his physical fitness business right now to keep growing it. He's from even using his wife as the poster woman for fitness after having a baby. Yes. You guys have kids yet?
One more time, yeah. I have one 16-month-old, and my wife is pregnant with twins, so we're busy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so she's gonna be another success story. I thought you told me that. I'm like, wait, I better check before I finish saying that. But yeah, wow, congratulations. You guys are really pumping it out.
There's a lot going on.
So all right. Thank you so much for coming on today, Daniel. We really appreciate having you on Great Minds, Great Marketing.
My pleasure.
Fantastic. So let's start off with just letting the folks out there know a little bit about what you do in your business, so we can get a sense of what the marketing is like for you when you get into that in a little while.
Sure. So Motivators Personal Training, this is a brick and mortar studio for large group training. Now, sometimes the first thing I hear is, oh, it says personal training, so certainly it's one-on-one. And that's where we started, but have since transitioned to a group model. Frankly, done in a group, you're just going to be able to help more people than if you're doing it one-on-one, right? I mean, how many hours are in the day if I'm working with Mrs. Jones for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and a lot of personal trainers working 60-minute sessions one-on-one. I mean, how many clients, how many sessions can you render in a day? 8, 9, 10 maybe? And that's a long and hard day for doing that. So there's not a lot of opportunity for you to leverage and grow with that model. So what you're seeing pop up in a lot of places are group training models. It could be the local CrossFit box you may come across, or the Orange Theory Fitness is a very popular fitness franchise. And those are great, but what we have carved out at Motivators is really something special and unique that I don't see a lot of. So we serve mothers aged 33 to 55 with tends to be a few kids, tends to be they have some body fat reduction is a goal, but they come for not only the results that they would achieve, but also the relationships. So they're looking for a sense of belonging and community to something that's bigger than just, hey, I go to the gym down the road and I have access to treadmills and I have access to dumbbells. They're looking for something more, and if they can feel a sense of belonging and culture and community that's reinforced continually, by myself and with my team, with our marketing efforts, that's going to retain someone a lot longer than if you just go to the gym and it's like you go to the gym, you use their treadmill, you leave the gym. There's nothing much to say about it. There's not much of a belonging. So one of the key things that I think about is, how do I create an iron fence around my clients that should they leave, that there's a great pain of disconnect, that it is a painful departure because there's so much to it. That's not just, hey, this is where I work out. It's, hey, this is where I have friends. This is where I'm having great results. This is where I feel a belonging. This is where I network, and I've gained business from if someone is, there's a woman who's a landscaper, another woman's a bookkeeper. It's like I've gained business from this place. So it's much more than a gym, and that's a crucial piece of the puzzle to make it about something more, and certainly to kind of begin to differentiate yourself outside of the commodity. Sorry about that. I thought I turned the ringer off. I guess I did not. To begin to differentiate yourself outside of just the commodity world, where you can join a gym, $30, $20, $10. I think there's a $5 gym membership. If not, there isn't. There'll probably be soon. And that's, I suppose you get what you pay for. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. And building that iron gate around your clients is huge. And I love that you've really niched to not just women, but really kind of a specific woman who's going through a specific situation. So, and it's very common with women that have kids to not be happy with their body shape after and to need help, a little bit of help getting back to where they used to be. And so I think that's really fantastic. Now, can you talk about how you have used your wife in the marketing? Isn't that right? She's a partner too.
So, well, actually, we just had a team meeting and talking about how she. Now, the question was, I have used my wife in marketing. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, I thought you said that you had some really. Yeah.
Yes, and we did. So after our one of the more successful campaigns for us was called a Hot Mommy Makeover. And the Facebook ad that we ran, which the numbers on it really were sick, was the main picture was a picture of her doing a plank, and right in front of her was our daughter, Evelyn. And it was something, the headline I recall was Southampton mother reveals her body transformation secrets. And that got a lot of clicks and a lot of conversions. I think we spent $400 in Facebook ads, $300-400, and generated on the front end $2,500 in front end revenue. So the way that works, the way we acquire new clients is some low barrier offer, right? Something that is typically under $100, under 30 days. So the Hot Mommy Makeover was a 30-day program for $97. So you kind of nailed it right with that. That's kind of a tolerance that a lot of people find they have to just try something out. You don't want to commit to, you're not looking to, you're just dating with a low barrier offer. You're just saying, hey, listen, come on in, see if you like what you're doing here. Try all the coaches, try all the different classes, and then, afterwards, you're not committed to anything, but afterwards, we'll sit down and, talk about the ongoing memberships. So it's very low threshold, $97, 30 days, I think I can do that. I think oftentimes where, people make mistakes, if you go for the jugular, if I say, hey, Mrs. Jones, what we're going to do is here's our, few $1,000 package right on our first date. It's like, whoa, I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. Not about that. So the low barrier offer is really the mechanism from which we can indoctrinate, at which point the sales process at the end of that low barrier offer is, virtually, I'm not going to say non-existent, but it's the resistance to buy is very, very low. The program just sold itself. For 30 days, you're going through it. For 21 days, you're going through it. We're indoctrinating you. We're sending out our newsletter. We're getting multiple touch points in that initial 21 days or 30 days. And so therefore, we find very high conversions so long as we can keep lots of prospects going through that. My one thing is how many people are on promotions at any given time, because that is how they will convert. And so that's kind of what I track and is most important to me in my pipeline. I always go a little bit long-winded, and I might meander. So just let me know if I'm meandering. You just rope me back in, all right? Like a lasso, just bring it on in.
That's fine. I'm just gonna start going. Let's get down. I think it's fine. I think your answers are great.
Okay.
So
Thank
let's
you.
see. There's a little bit of lag time. I don't know what's going on with the internet connection today. It's either you or me, but I had the same issue on the prior call. So it could just be the live streaming is eating up a lot of the bandwidth. But I've been told from our conference that we were just at that several times people have said that on Facebook, live is really the way to get bumped up to the top of being viewed by a much wider audience as opposed to trying all the organic stuff. So I'm trying to do a lot more live, and I had been doing this for about a month before we went to that conference. So I am seeing good results from it. So I'm kind of dealing with the audio issues just to get through it because we are recording it on the webinar, so the sound should be better on there. So anyway, yeah, I'm so happy to hear about your using something really creative like using your wife and your child in your ad and really evoking that kind of an emotional response from your audience and seeing the results come from that. So that's fantastic. The third thing I wanted to ask you about is really something that you had mentioned to me originally, and it was just, a lot of entrepreneurs, they start off in business and it doesn't go well, and then they give up. And there's usually incredible stories with entrepreneurs that have really made it. It's always a struggle even when you've made it. You've got to keep on top. But sometimes life throws you a curveball, and which is the case for you. So you said you didn't mind sharing, one of the curveballs that was thrown at you as you were starting your brand new business.
Certainly. So in August of 2012, we had our grand opening at the business, and it was the exact date was August 12th of 2012. And on August 31st of that same month, I was sitting in a doctor's office, and he had diagnosed me with a testicular cancer. So, that type of thing was, great deal of excitement for one phase of your life, and offset by a great deal of consternation and concern and fear for, all right, what does this all mean? So as it happens, there was chemotherapy involved and surgeries and, CAT scans and PET scans and every blood work and scans. And that lasted for a while, probably a solid, 18 months of, very hard-line follow-up. But, after the chemotherapy especially, you got to do a lot of different tests, But then, like I'm sure a lot of people listening, if you've had any sort of encounter with cancer, that you got to chase it. You got to stay on top of it. So it's still a part of my life, frankly. You still have to. I have to go get blood work on Thursday. To just track thing. You just can't. It's something you got to stay on top of. And so that was a great deal of adversity right up front. And this was at a stage where anyone knows when you start a business, we didn't have staff members. So it was just, she wasn't even my wife at the time, just my girlfriend and I at the time, which is a whole other story. We opened a business just as boyfriend and girlfriend.
Who is your now wife?
Who is now my wife, yep. And, when you start, you're doing everything. I mean, so here was my schedule, right? So I would train clients at starting at 6 a.m., 6:30, 7. I had to be at the chemo place at 8:30, 9. So I'd run up there. I'd have to do that, get chemo for 4 to 6 hours a day. I would get out. I would do my best to get a workout in. And then I would be back in the evening. And that's typically the schedule of trainers. You do a morning shift, you do an afternoon shift. Because that's when people, right, it's people before work or people after work. and then I would, come on back at around 5:30 p.m. and fire it up again. And that's just what you have to do. The other option, it's crazy. And I kind of like, yeah, that was a lot. But the big idea so I always like to draw parallels of fitness and business, because there are significant. And so one of my favorites is the fact that in business, as in life, excuse me, I should say in fitness, as in business, as in life, but especially in fitness, if you are to get stronger, right, you have to overcome a degree of resistance, right? So the first time you walk into a gym and you pick up the 10-pound dumbbells, you're going to be sore, okay? And then you do that for a couple weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And if you pick up those same 10-pound dumbbells, you're not going to be sore anymore, because your body has already adapted to that level of resistance. It said, okay, hey, I can handle this. So it's already done all the change and adaptation that's needed for that level of resistance. Now, if you want more change, transformation, and adaptation to your body, we got to up the resistance. So what you find is that as you get stronger, you absolutely, as in life, as in fitness, you absolutely must keep upping the resistance. So I had a significant amount of resistance right up front, and it is true that you just grow very strong from it, because what was the alternative? I didn't want to shut out the lights and close up in the same month that I just opened, so you got to kind of
of course.
So.
Wow, I mean, I gotta say, like, a couple things in that story. I mean, it's an amazing story to start. You're starting a business with your girlfriend, and I know that cancer touches a lot of people. So I'm sure that there are stories out there where people have just started businesses, or going through, trying to restart their business, and they get that kind of a hurdle. But I don't know many people that would be working on their business and going to chemo and still get their workout in. I cannot believe that you put all that together. It's amazing.
Yeah. Some basic principles of kind of mindset conditioning are very much rooted in our business. We are less a gym and more a place of personal development and personal growth. And I thought, what example would I be leading if not to kind of demonstrate how that despite adversity, despite resistance that encounters in your life, and everyone's got it. I don't think it's like incredibly unique. People battle with cancer, people battle with divorce, job loss, people battle with, kids that get in trouble with the law. I don't know. People battle with all kinds of stuff. But when you have something, so fitness for me has always been kind of a warm red center, right? It has always been like what brings it back to the fundamentals of what you got, your body and your mind. There's a certain connectivity when you're working out. Anyone that's trained for a long time knows that it's so basic, right? I mean, this is all we're born with, is our body and our brains. If we can keep the body vital and the brain, unpolluted with like drugs and alcohol and all of that, I mean, I think you put yourself in very good position to think clearly, act decisively. And that was very fundamental for me to say, like, all right, despite all of this, literally, I mean, chemotherapy drugs are poison. It's literally poison being injected into your body. Like, I understand that, but I'm going to do my absolute best to keep my body strong and my mind sound, because that's all I got. If you are spiritually inclined, then that's great. You can put soul in there as well. But to me, that was such a fundamental brick. So the working out aspect within and starting the business was absolutely crucial. I mean, Eric, I was with you on a business trip that we were like, boom, 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 boom. Every minute counted. I found like a 30-minute window to go squeeze a workout in, and I had to do it because that's what keeps everything else going. Right?
I was like, he's so much better than me. My last business trip, I got 2 in. But walking around Disney World and SeaWorld were my 5-mile workouts.
Hey, those are
yeah, I was impressed. It was definitely impressive.
Yeah, and it's done more out of a it's as fundamental for me for my basic operation as food is, as putting clothes on is. Someone might ask me, well, you're wasting time, you're missing. Like, no, you don't understand. I'm performing best. Like, if I don't, I'm agitated, I'm irritated, I'm like impatient. So it's a very fundamental piece, and I think that's in large part a major message of what Motivators is about. Is that, like, look, it's not about vanity. Everyone says I want to lose 20 pounds, 30 pounds. I want to fit into these jeans, and I get that. I do. But along the way, what you're going to find is there's going to be a degree you will regain a sense of confidence and control and freedom in your life that unlike you perhaps never have, because fitness it's equal opportunity. It doesn't care. It will return to you exactly what you put into it, right? It's very objective. It's you can't cheat it. When you find someone who's in
Absolutely. You know what I love about what you just said, though, the most is that, and I don't think it's ever been explained to me in that way. It's like you were born with just a brain and a body, and you have to keep them both healthy and strong. And I think that's incredible. So I really appreciate you sharing that story with us. That's very personal and very inspiring, I think, to the audience. So thank you very much. I do want to ask you a hard transition into marketing stuff, because we only have so much time today. So as far as marketing goes, there's a lot of different things that you can do, and I like to ask the question, what is the combination of marketing tactics that you find to be the most successful and fruitful for your company?
Sure. So I have given thought to the fact that I think the proper marketing budget of a fitness business should be $0.00. For the reason being that when done properly, if serving your clients well, they are walking around physical, walking, talking, breathing billboards for you. I mean, It is undeniably so that when someone goes to some gathering, their church, the party, their work, people look at them and say, wow, Erica, what have you been doing? You look great. I mean, that's as knee-jerk a response as like, hey, it's a sunny day. I mean, you just, and so when done correctly, if you just serve your clients well, you should find, I gotta imagine that most businesses would say referrals are their #1 lead source, naturally, as it is mine, but I think ours is in hyperdrive because it's so fundamental. You walk around and people are going to say, hey, you look great. What are you doing? I'm going to Motivators. Oh, I want to look great. I'll go to Motivators, Probably less so than a plumber who's like, wow, you really have a nice running water and your sink is just lovely. Like, look at this plumbing you got down here, So,
Who cares?
I expand on that because the client fulfillment is a massive part of our marketing plan to ensure that our experience is foremost delivering results, delivering great relationships, and delivering a first-rate experience. To that end, what specifically, we have a monthly print newsletter that is, I think, very well received. We've been doing it for, I think we'll be in issue number 17. So, yeah, we started last January, so something like that, 16 or 17. And the newsletter has been a big one. That was huge. that was huge. What you find is, and this is interesting, it is, you find you start getting more referrals from direct family members because now you're getting this piece of mail that could be sitting on the table for a while. So we're getting a lot of the sisters or the husbands because it's physically sitting, and now it's in their home, and they're looking at it each month, reading the article, paging through, and of course it follows all the principles of a good newsletter. Is that a lot? I mean, it's 10, 15% about fitness, 85, 90% about fun and just good reading.
That's a really great point. Most family members are probably the ones that give you the least referrals because they don't always understand completely what you do and the impact that it's having on people's lives. And that's fantastic. So you're saying 85% fun and 15% fitness is what you're doing. It's not just like a newsletter on fitness tips. It's a lot more than that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I cannot recall of a traditional fitness tip that has been in there in a while. There's some food tips and tricks and strategies and whatnot, but front page article from me. I enjoyed writing a lot, which kind of segues next into another source of leads is writing, but there's there's an article, there's memes down the right side, there's jokes, there's a partner feature, a client feature. Hey, how long you been a member? What have your results been? Hey, get to know this client. What do you like to do in your free time? So it's just about the community, So it's like if you disengage from motivators, like, yeah, you don't get your newsletter anymore. You know that I have clients saying, like, yeah, I miss motivators. I miss the newsletter. I'm like, oh, yeah, I know. So, and
do you have referral contests within your for your clients at all?
We do, yeah. So we'll run typically 1 or 2 referral contests per year. That might be giving away an iPad, giving away a iPod or some high value item. Hey, for as many referrals as you can get in the next 2 to 3 weeks, right? And we found that you want to run them for that length of time, 2 to 3 weeks. You don't want to have a referral contest going for like
drawn out
3. People don't. They're some clients come, they're only on a 3-time-a-week schedule, and that could be maybe it's like Mondays and weekends. So therefore, you run it for 3 days. They never even knew that you were having it. So you're gonna give it some time. You can even go up to a month, and I don't think you would have. It kind of builds. It's fun and exciting, so long as the prize at the end is actually high value that people actually want. Giving away an iPad, you're gonna get you can get the referrals, no question. So how else? We do. Events serve us well. Today's a beautiful day. We're out in Philadelphia. It's a beautiful day, and around April, May, a lot of 5Ks, a lot of just table vendor setups, and it's just such a fitness is kind of one of those things. It's so universal. It's so basic, right? I talked about that, and it's easy to engage some client. Everyone that talks like, oh, I want to get rid of this, or like, hey, what eating tips? So when you can be a source for solutions and answers. You're going to collect a lot of prospects and leads at the top end of the funnel, and then my biggest challenge is just making sure I'm able to nurture them as they need and as it necessitates to kind of get them down the line, because people aren't necessarily ready. Everyone says like, oh yeah, I want to start working out, but it takes them a little time. They need to go through a gestation process to get them to the point where like, oh, you know what? I will take him up on that low barrier offer that he's told me about 20 times, the $97 for 21 days. That's not very threatening. So.
Hey, I can spend $100 like that to improve themselves more.
One more time.
Absolutely. So far it's your combination of referrals, word of mouth and your newsletter, and they all kind of work together.
Yeah, it forms a, no, so now this is interesting, and it was so important for us to, to recognize that, like, so, all right, you have all your clients that are right here, and they're in the heart of the program, just, ongoing, continuity, month over month. But then you have your people over here that are just in the 21-day trial period. And in that 21-day trial period, I tell them that you're going to get experienced motivators, the best of it. So it was important that they get a newsletter. But the problem was the timelines didn't match up. My normal newsletter goes out, say, the first of each month. Well, what happens if I have a 21-day trial member who signs up on the 5th? Well, they missed it. Well, so what we did was, really, all that first 21-day trial newsletter should do anyhow is sell them on the next stage of the process, on the actual membership. So we now have a stock newsletter, right? A stock newsletter is going to go out to, regardless, and it has a very different message, right? Because if you just think about that market to message match, you want to speak to those people a little bit differently than I do my normal clients. So that was kind of an insight that I wanted to make sure that they get that experience, because showing up with a newsletter, I think especially for a gym, that's showing up pretty differently. You're not finding that. So that is a.
Now you have just one I guess not volume, but one issue that is just for like prospects.
Correct.
And,
correct.
But that's one, or are you doing 2 separate newsletters every single month?
So, right, so that's stock newsletter, which I thought I had a whole stack of them, but that's a whole stock newsletter that just pops right in the mail when they start. It's basically welcoming them. Hey, welcome to Motivators Personal Training. Well, obviously, I'm not saying that to the client who's been here, a year and a half. So, but should they sign up?
Right.
Then they get right into the next rotation. So it seems seamless, where they're just right into the normal rotation after they sign up. And that's been just a nice addition.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's if anyone is taking note of what we're talking about today, that that's a really neat takeaway to most of the things that people are doing. I think it's fantastic. Now, we are starting to run up against the end of the clock here. I wanted to see if there is something you'd like to promote. Now, I know you said that there was a nutrition program. You're in the process of kind of changing pages over. You had one page, and now you're going to be changing that over. I've put a link to your website on this live Facebook post, and whatever you end up making it, when we turn this into a blog, just send me the new link for the new nutrition page, and we'll make sure that people can see that offer. If you'd like to talk a little bit about that, that would be great.
Sure. So I think, so we are a brick and mortar facility serving clients locally, and I'm could be talking to someone from all over the country, maybe international. And but the one program that we did design that I know that, 99 clients out of 100 struggle with is the nutrition. And we have a really great program called Nutrition Ignition. Now, I've gone through many iterations of nutrition programs, and through all of those iterations have found all the things that do not work. So let me give you an example of something that does not work. It is a, done for you, hey, here, Erica, eat this every single day, or something like that, where there's not much flexibility, choice, and it doesn't much accommodate real life. If you have children, if you have a job, if you work, 7P to 7A as a nurse or something like that. So, but what Nutrition Ignition does, for one, it's so fundamental that you learn and actually understand. I don't need you to become a nutritionist, but just some of the basics. And that's what it does through a series of online videos and coaching. and tools, and even, you know, kind of right along notes, give you that fundamental basis. At which point then you're using portion controlled cups to, you know, understand and now you know, execute the plan that we lay out for you, but with a large degree of choice and flexibility. So all of this is done. We serve clients not just in my local area, but I have nutrition coaching clients throughout at least my tri-state right now, which is Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, and it's a great tool. So it's a 90-day program, and you can learn more about that. My wife just changed it. You can go to motivatorspt.com. If you find the nutrition link, it will teach you a little bit more about it. But soon thereafter, go to motivatorspt.com/nutrition. Okay, Motivators PT. Again, that PT stands for personal training. Motivatorspt.com/nutrition. And there'll be some great information on, you know, just kind of learning and seeing if it's a good fit for you. So.
Absolutely, I think it's fantastic. I mean, it's obviously working for you. So
Yeah.
if you can do it with setbacks you've had, I think anyone can do it with your help. So I do hope everybody does take advantage of that. The link is, again, it's on this Facebook post, and it will be out on LinkedIn and the rest of them in the next couple of weeks. You'll get to see this interview in a summary form in writing, and then it'll be a nice edited version with even better audio. So, Daniel, I just want to thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your stories and you know, just the hurdles that you've had to get over, and you know, the amazing business that you've built with your lovely wife and children. You know, I couldn't be more happy for you, and I really appreciate you sharing such fantastic content today with us.
I appreciate it. My pleasure. I enjoyed it. It's fun. So.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. This has been Daniel, Aleksa, and Erica DELSIGNORE. I'm the founder of Daily Lead Campaign, and we are looking forward to seeing you on the next Great Minds, Great Marketing. We have another live version coming up at 4, but if you're watching this via the blog, you can see more of those right on my website at dailyleadcampaign.com. And again, thank you so much, Daniel. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll look forward to seeing you at the next meeting that we're at together, a training meeting, whatever it ends up being over at GPIC.
Awesome. All right. See you.